So before we start the podcast, here are some things that you need to know about Sigmund Freud.
Hindi na ba nakalimutan na kalimutan ka kung tayo talaga.
Doing some research, here are some of the things that I gathered through the internet about him. Number one. Sigmund Freud consumed almost 10 to 30 cigarettes per day. That caused him to proceed to the prosthetic jaw surgery. That's kinda fascinating. Freud was okay with gay men, but not with lesbian.
Hindi mo na ako kailangan.
May pagkabayas, yan lang. So, according to my legitimate source, only the men have their own rights to make their moral choices, but not women. Bakit kaya? So, in this matter, every woman needed a husband to guide her right choices in life, which is not something lesbian would have. So, pinaparating na dito na ang babae talaga ay para sa lalaki at ang lalaki ay pwede sa lalaki. Ay, kaloka. Ano nila sis? Joke lang. Therefore, so Freud's document are locked away. So, hindi lang pala psychosexual theory and other theories ang kanya na-conduct. More than 75,000 of Freud personal documents are locked down. So, possible mayroong mga research and other theories pa siya na-conduct. Time will tell, maybe this was related to the psychosexual theory, the ego, and superego.
Hello, good evening everyone. So once again, I am Jerwin Peralta and Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Social Studies, graduating this August. And the number one SK Kagawa. Day joke lang po. Bali nakasulot naman na po dyan yung mga information about sa akin.
Yes, mga credentials. Yan, as you can see, madami siyang credentials. So, yun, we choose you as our guest again kasi before, na-invite na namin siya as a guest sa kabilang subject podcast. We're going to talk about something about you, about your growth, experiences, and things that you can share to us. Like, right, Jerry? Okay. So, sir, first one.
Okay na, okay.
So, what are the currently challenges that you are facing? Like, right now, as we grow older, alam naman natin na all of us have different problems and things that we experience. Can you share it with the sir?
So, first na challenge for me is the pressure. The pressure of life after college. Kasi we all know the fact naman na mahirap kapag education ang kinuha mo. Lalo na kapag graduate ka na, expected nila, lalo na kung tinuturing ka nilang breadwinner sa family mo, nila malayo mararating yan. Siya yung magiging breadwinner ng family nila, mag-aahon. Kaya yun, yung pressure na napapansin sa sarili ko this graduating na, yun yung parang nagiging problema ko. Hindi ko pa nakikita yung sarili ko na magsisettle sa mga maliliit mo ng trabaho kasi nag-aim ako na mas mabigay ko ng maayos yung mga pangangailangan ng family ko through malaking work kaagad. May pamangkin akong diagnosed ng autism. Honestly speaking, challenge siya for me kasi mahirap mag-alag ng batang may autism.
Sir, no, you mentioned the pressure and things na after graduating, nandyan na yung expectation na makita nila, ay magiging teacher agad. And we all know na mahirap nga naman na di natin ma-reach expectation nila.
Yes, the pressure and the stress and all, it's you could really feel it. It really exists, and it's us who are, you know,
Mention din ni Sir Jerwin na ang education course is not a joke, na mabigat nga tong course compare sa other courses. Like nasa atin lahat, yung future ng bata, tayo magiging foundation nila to develop and to grow. And so next, what are the current factors that affects you as you grow older? Is it
Family, friends, and neighbor. Lahat, environment. Ganun. Yung mga yun, yung mga factors na yun, tutulungan ka talaga mag-grow. Like, for example nga, yung family mo, sa family kasi, sa bahay nyo, doon nag-umpisa yung first learning, mga values, ganyan. It comes, pag nasa labas ka na sa environment mo, maraming bagay ka palang ginalaman na hindi rin nakikita or natututuhan sa bahay.
yan, Jeremiah? So, as I observed the answer of Sir Jerwin Peralta, we can relate it to our lesson last week with Ma'am Dom. You remember the microsystem theory by Yuri Bronfenbrenner? Sir Jerwin mentioned those factors that directly and indirectly affects him as he grow. Nandyan yung family, friends, and yung peer pressure. Syempre, indirect yun sa atin. Na even though wala sila sa paligid natin, lagi natin sila naiisip na, ay, iba expectation nila sa akin, pressure of your educator. What are the things that you can share to your future learners based on your experience? Syempre,
From first year to college to fourth year, this graduating ako, nag-aim talaga ako ng mataas. And lahat naman, lalo ng pag mga honor student mga yan, mag-aim sila na, ay sana pag-graduate ko, Latin honors ako, ganyan-ganyan. 1:1 talaga siya, and kung ano makukuha mo. Taas, ayoko magkaroon ng grade na bababa, ganyan. But then, nung third year, second sem, nagkaroon po ako ng DOS. Dalawang subject. So that time, question ko yung sarili ko. Deserve ko pa ba magka-Latin honor? Na paano pag fourth year na, di mas lalong hindi ko kakayanin. Second sem pa lang, third year nun, nagkaroon ako ng DOS. So yung na baka mabago yung pananaw ng ibang tao sa akin, ng pamilya ko, kasi nga alam nila raw na kayang-kaya ko magka-Latin honor. So, kumbaga, pinush ko yung sarili ko na maniwala sa sarili ko pa mismo dahil sa experience na yun na nagkaroon ako ng DOS. Kasi alam naman natin na kung honor student ka, gusto mo yung grade mo laging flat 1, ganyan-ganyan. Buhay ko, feeling ko mag-stop na doon. Pero sinabihan ako ng prof ko na mismong nagbigay sa akin ng DOS. Ano bang ginawa mo? Sabi niya sa akin. Tama nga si sir, hindi ko binigay yung best ko. Sabi yun yung masishare ko sa aking mga future students na kung gusto mong mag-aim ng mataas, kung gusto mong magkaroon ng maayos na grades, then comply, gawin mo yung best mo, mag-aral ka ng mabuti.
concise answer, no? We can gather some meaningful answers, Jeremiah, no? Na we all experience that, na mahirap i-manage yung time. Like, may responsibility ka. Unahin mo ba yung school living mo? And also, may mga ganun talagang professor na strict. Also,
yes, true. Actually, I agree. Tsaka, it's true no, na in this kind of level of higher education talaga. The expectations are high. Plus, habang nagpo-progress tayo, as year by year, academic years pass, pahirap siya ng pahirap. Yes.
18. Mahirap.
Talagang mapapatanong ka din sa sarili mo kasi pag kunwari pag isang beses lang na feel mo or like literal na talagang mag-feel ka, mapapaisip ka na parang kakabahan ka na. Ano kaya ang susunod na gagawin ko? Anong kasama pa ba ako sa sa Latin honor na to? Graduate pa ba ako? Yung inner conflict yung struggle mo, no?
May struggle nga.
Ayun.
Diyan yung limited hours mo. Wala ka ng time to do me time. May mga task kang gagawin. And overload na tayo na to the point na even di natin na papansin na kahit pag-aral natin na apekto.
True.
Also, if we will relate the theory of Sir Erickson mentioned na, sir, present yun. Like, you strive more to get better grade na makikita mo mataas sila. Like, ba't sila ganun? Ako hindi. You remember our lesson by Ma'am Ivy, the industry versus inferiority. We can apply those theories through the experience of Sir Jerwin. Na-mention lahat, like, the experiences and struggles na na-experience as a future educator. So, that's all.
Dito pa lang sa pinag-uusapan natin, makikita na natin based from from Erik Erickson's theory of stages of development. It's true that through early adulthood years, since talagang nakikita natin yung very evident yung role confusion. Talagang hahanapin mo yung sarili mo sa
Pasok din siya.
sa
Mention
field
ni Sir
mo.
Jerwin kanina. Like, di mo alam ano yung purpose mo in life. Like, why are you doing this? Like, do
True.
you do this for grade? Or do you do this for your family? Like, nandun yung confusion eh. Nahati siya.
Para saan ka ba kumikilos or lumalaban sa stage na to?
Grade 7 sa other student or as you observe sa school. Ano yung mga observation yun, sir? Okay?
Makukulit sila, pero malambing. And then, kung may compare ko yung dalawang yun, mga grade 7 yun, di ba? Parehas lang grade 7, pero nagkakaiba yun. Siyempre, medyo may isip na sila, mahirap minsan, hindi sila sumusunod kaagad-agad. Kung ikaw mismo, nakikita nila na parang di ka serious. Yung respect sa'yo as their teacher is andun pa rin. Kahit nagbata pa sila, and then matanda na. Same.
Maya, which is that Lawrence Kohlberg's theory, napasok doon ng avoiding punishment. Na si Sir Jerwin na nasusunod sa grade 7 students na makukulit na upang di sila mabigyan ng punishment or something to do that na effective siya sa isang classroom. Any insights, Jeremiah? About this thing na may mga na-mention si Sir na classroom management na importante sa atin na malaman yung mga bagay na yun. May insight?
Totoo, no? Totoo yung sinabi ni Sir, and also yung theory. It really applies. Number one, classroom management is very, very important. Two, is really in the mindset of children na kumbaga
Ikaw nasusunod sa mga bagay.
they tend to avoid punishment. So, what they do is usually, yun nga, kaya madali sila pasunurin. In order to avoid punishment, they follow authority. And to have that authority para about some certain things, especially when it comes to behavior. Ayun.
Right? You're right, Jeremiah, na importante na as a future teacher, alam natin how to imply rules and restrictions sa mga gantong bata na tayo dapat masusunod. Avoid kung may mga struggles na magaganap sa classroom na dapat organize siya. And also, as a first year college student, pasok din siya sa topic na pinag-aralan natin na about inclusive education and proper things na dapat gawin inside the class. So, as we end this podcast, we are so thankful to have Sir Jerwin as our guest speaker for tonight dahil madami kami natutunan and these are the things that the person experienced as he developed. Any insights, Jeremiah? Okay, right.
As we end our podcast, I hope you learned something from our discussion. And now, I would like to ask our audience, how can you relate those theories in your life? I would like you to reflect and do some self-realization on how you can apply those theories in your daily lives. Our next episode, we're going to talk about the inclusive education. We're going to talk about some strategies, activities, and something that you can implement inside your classroom. And that's the end of our podcast, and I hope to see you on our next episode next week.